Hey guys, well, today we're gonna actually go through a little bit of a behind the scenes so that I can show you some of what I do when I'm actually editing one of my videos. Today, I actually recorded an unboxing of the KMCS Summer Crafting Kit. So, without further ado, let's just get right into this and take a look. Now, obviously, I use DaVinci Resolve as my main editor, and we're just going to start a new project. So I'm going to click on Start Untitled Project and go New. And we're going to call this KMCS Summer Craft Pack Unboxing, and we're going to create it. And now I have my editor up and ready to go. Now I have no clips in the media pool, so we're going to add to my media. So we're going to start by media pool. Where was it again? Import media. Now I keep a nice a folder for all my airsoft videos. So as you can see, my first gameplay, my second gameplay, third gameplay is on the list, but I like to get my next gameplay following. So the first play was in April, second was in May, third was in June. In a couple of weeks I'll have my fourth gameplay, and that's when I will actually do my edit for the third gameplay after I have the video footage for the fourth. Now, here we have the AGM Summer Pack Unboxing, which I just produced. So we're going to go in here. I'm going to collect both of my MP4 files and open them. And we'll allow it to change. And there we go. There's my media. That's the MP4 of what I just shot. Now I'm going to go ahead, we're going to do this, select both, and I am going to create a timeline from these clips where right click on them, create new timeline using selected clips. And we're going to call this timeline Summer Craft Pack Unboxing, and create. Now, as you can see, I have both of my MP4s connected together and ready to go. Now, what I tend to do is I try to watch through the video a little bit so I know where to cut and edit as necessary. With this video, there isn't much to really do, as I have already made this very succinct in terms of how it starts, how it ends, and the cut in the middle. So really what I need to do is I need to kind of come over towards here, which is towards the end. Now, with these keys up here, I can actually play the video, and I have my sound off because I don't want to play the sound from the clips while I'm recording this. So usually what I'll do is I'll play it through. Now I know there's a spot where I want to cut this. So I know it's roughly around here, and for a few minutes I'm going to actually shut my mouth and I'm going to listen to the sound, because I want to cut this at a very specific spot so that there's less of a jump as I actually stopped recording for a few minutes while I changed where my GoPro was, how it was sitting, where it was looking, in order to show my ghillie suit, my new ghillie suit that I'm working on. So give me 1 minute. Which we are going to adjust the, I'm going to take a minute and adjust my GoPro so I can show that to you where it's at now. And I'm going to try to work on it a bit this week and next week, because I plan on playing in a couple of weeks when funds start being more readily available. So just when funds are being more readily available. So okay, so this is where I want to cut this. Now I have it set to cut, and let me find it. Well, there's an easy way to do this. I'm just going to take this and kind of adjust it back a little bit. And so just give me 1 minute. And now we're back. Okay, well, actually, now that I look at this, it doesn't actually need to be edited, but I want to show you how I would go about cutting here. So if you look at this, I can adjust this in multiple ways, but because this actually is cut in such a way that I don't need to do that, we're going to go over to, let's see what we got here again. Clip. If I go to edit, I'm trying to remember where everything is here. We can do a trim, so I can do this. We can do a trim start. And I'm gonna advance this forward. And let's say we go trim end. Done. Now obviously I don't want to do this because I want this to go right to the end, so I'm just going to Control Z and undo that trim because I don't want to do that. There's another feature that I've used, I'm just trying to find it, Razor. Razor allows me to basically create its own clip, and if I want to, I can now delete that and it's gone, it's out. No longer part of the timeline. Again, I don't want to do this, so I'm just going to undo that and let it be. And those are really some of the ways that I adjust my I adjust and clip these. Usually when I start a video, especially during a gameplay, I'll actually start my recording before gameplay starts. So that gives me a bit of time in the intro where they're explaining the game phase, so that I have a reminder of what it was, because again, it is so long in between when I play and produce. Sometimes it's a month. So if I want to change this, I just come to the front here and I just drag it forward for as far as I want. So say that's where I want it to end up. Now I've cut off that initial area of play, and the same at the end. You can do the same exact thing to drag it back. Again, I tend to leave a little bit extra at the end in order to condense it down and allow myself a chance to say thank you, as well as maybe add an end screen where you can click over to one of my other videos or whatnot. But again, with this, because I didn't really leave that time, I'm going to undo it, put it back to where it was. And I'm just going to check that, make sure it starts where I want it to, as opposed to where I moved it. And just give me 1 second. Now again, I'm always going back to the video and I'm checking this because I want to make sure, hey guys, welcome to, I want to make sure that everything adds up and makes sense. So coming back to my video, playing through it, making sure that I'm catching this the way I want it to be, it looks the way I want it to look, and so forth and so on. The other thing that I will do from time, at least with the gameplays, is I'll go over to Farlight. Excuse me. Now, what Farlight is, Farlight allows me to do voiceovers. It allows me to add music if I wish. With Farlight, my main thing is I try to create voiceovers by adding in a cue, whereas I actually did my normal cue, the welcome to video, and asking if you enjoy this content to like, subscribe, and comment. Again, this right now is the behind the scenes, so you're really getting to see a little bit of the things that I do. Now, in order to add this new audio, first thing I want to do is add a track, add a mono track. Now, I can set this mono track to arm for record, which it's not doing nicely for me. Go to record, setup, and you want to set it up to be audio 2. Tell it the file name you want it to be. Now, I'm not going to keep this because it's not necessary for this video. Add a new character, so usually I'm basically just adding myself in so I can do my voiceover, and then what I'll do is I'll record my start and end voiceovers so that they're in position to be played. But since we're not doing that, I'm just gonna delete the track and call it a day. Now if I go back to my edit screen, now you can see this. You got the video, you got my audio, so this is the audio recording of this video all lined up, ready to play. And if I wanted to add music, it's very simple. We just drag and drop. So if I open up my folder, I have downloaded clips from, where was it? It's wrong one. From this website. This is Artlist, and it's all licensed music to use on YouTube. And you can pick from a variety of different genres, yeah, based on what you're looking for, and you just download them as. So if I wanted to, I would come here, do a direct download after I've logged in. I'm not going to type in my credentials right now, but I can do a direct download of what I want, which is what you're seeing here. Now I keep all of my Airsoft stuff, so anything that I'm producing, all my music, all the stuff that I want to use for my YouTube videos in one convenient place on one of the storage drives on my computer. Now eventually I'm going to need to get an external, and I'm already looking into prices on that so I can do a backup and clean up the hard drive I keep all of my Airsoft videos in, so that this way, if I will never fully fill this specific drive. Now the storage E drive that you see has a few other things, so this was a lot of backup data when I had my computer worked on. I had a problem with the motherboards a couple years ago, so I had to get the computer basically fixed, and I asked them to back up my data so that everything was safe. I also had them install an additional solid state drive, which gave me some more storage, but you know, it was nothing major. Um, Really, that's it. That is my process. It's a lot of fine tuning, checking it, going back. I found that this edit um, pane gives me more options. So I have my trim edit mode, I have my dynamic trim mode, I have my blade edit mode, which is the same thing as doing um, the razor, which was under timeline using razor. Um, all the different options are in this mode, which I happen to like, and I tend to use this mode a bit more. It also gives me a mixer, which allows me to adjust volumes as I need to. So in some instances, I want my volume to be lower for specifically like for the music, especially when I'm doing my voiceovers. I'd rather it be lower, the music lower, and then try to bring it up a bit after the fact. I'm still learning some of this, so I'm playing with it as we go. You have the ability to mute tracks, disable video tracks. It's especially when you're working with multiple video feeds, which I tend to, as I usually work with both a GoPro feed, which is what I'm using here, and a Runcam for my scope. So I'm trying to usually cut them in. I'm trying to learn how to create a multicam timeline, which is another function of this, which required a little extra setup on my behalf, because my GoPro and my Runcam were not matching dates and times, which even here you can see my dates and times are a little bit different. It's a lot of back and forth and just trying to fit things together properly. You don't actually need to merge them and do a multicam, which this helps, having the ability to see both feeds at once. But what you can do is you can razor out an area, basically create different clips in your feed, which I've now done once. So say I want to make a clip here, I'm going to clip it, say, here to here, and I have another feed that actually will fit nicely in there with a different view. I will take that feed, clip it in the same in the same spot, and actually over and put it into this section, which will then give you a view of, say, for a gameplay, you'll have the GoPro up to a point, and I'll clip it when I'm going to shots that I'm taking at long range. So we clip it, I find the same section in the scope cam, clip it, and drag and drop it so that it now meets in that spot. So you go from, say, me cocking my riff to the flight of the BB downrange. And that's basically the process. It still takes me hours sometimes to edit. Again, there's not much editing for me to do on this one because it's a very basic file. And when the edit is completely done, which at this point this edit is done because there was no edit for it, excuse me, we're going to go over to deliver. Now here in deliver, I can set it up for any number of websites, apps. So you have a custom setup. I tend to use YouTube. because that's where I'm producing these two. You have Vimeo, which I do not know what it is, Twitter, Dropbox, and then some additional options that you can use to set it out. Because I tend to only use YouTube, I'm going to set this up for YouTube. So I'm going to start with a file name, and again I'm going to call this AGM Summer Crafting Kit, and we're going to browse. Now I already have a setup for this. I have a Final Cuts folder, so I'm just going to put it right into my Final Cuts folder, which has all of my produced videos in it. I'm going to do save. Now I tend to leave the resolution as it is, 1920 by 1080 HD with this frame rate, MP4 format, which is the format for YouTube. Make sure all of this is correct. And at this point, I'm going to add to queue, and we're going to tell it to render all. And now it's going to render the job so that it's ready for uploading to YouTube. As you can see, this is going to take over 16 minutes to render. Once it's done rendering, I will get it set up for YouTube. So let's kind of look at that right now. So if I pull up my YouTube account, on YouTube, I'm going to go to Create, Upload. Can't do it until it's done rendering, but if I go to Upload, I can tell it to select files, and again I'm going to go over to that specific drive on my computer, go here, go to my Final Cuts. I'm waiting for this to finish, but once it's finished I'll be able to upload it, and then we're going to add my thumbnail, which at this point in time, I've already set up my thumbnail, so let's just take a quick look at that. So I have my thumbnail set up, and right now that's not actually bad. Let me just zoom this thing out. I have it. Basically, it's going to be this is my thumbnail, so it's good. It's set up. I am ready to upload this as long as the file size is right, which it should be. It should be small enough to upload. And then what we basically do is I'll do my create, I'll upload it, and I'll get everything ready. And from there, I'll set up my upload and get it live. Yeah, thank you for watching, and if you love to see more of this, which I hope you will, please like, subscribe, and comment, and hopefully I will see you again soon. Thank you, and talk to you soon. Bye.